Hey, happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to Just a Guy with a Beer. This is episode number 20. I don't hear. Do you hear anything coming through? Uh-oh.
I'm not hearing anything.
I am not hearing anything coming through. Huh. If anybody can hear me, say yes, please. Everybody who's watching who can hear us. Can someone hear us now? How about now? How about now? You guys hear us? It's always something.
I got nothing through.
Nothing. I had nothing through the headphones. Yeah, cool. Notter said he can hear us. So, Chris, you want to say something?
Yeah.
Can you guys hear? Okay, great. Ray, Chris, thanks. Welcome to Just a Guy with a Beer. This is episode number 20, and we're in the alternate studio tonight because we are having some technical issues with the program. It doesn't matter because we're still here. We're going to talk beer, and I have Stone Brewing, New England rep. Stone Brewing. That's right. I said Stone Brewing, New England rep. Chris Charest.
Close enough.
Charest. Got it.
Too, however you want to say it.
Chris Charest is here. He's from Stone Brewing. He's all over the place. You're New York. You're New England. All New England.
New York all the way up to Maine.
And if you know Stone Brewing, they're in San Diego, and they also have a brewery in Richmond, Virginia.
Yeah, so basically split the country in half. Basically, if you take Ohio and draw a straight line down, everything that and east the beer comes out of Richmond. Everything west of that, they get their beer out of Escondido.
Okay, Escondido. So actually, it's not quite San Diego.
Northern San Diego County, so should be about 45 minutes outside of downtown, but with awful SoCal traffic, it's about 2 hours.
Okay, so
yeah,
that's good. So, but you're out here, and I did not know until you mentioned it earlier. I didn't know that Stone had a actual brewery on the East Coast. So. Now, do you guys collab with anybody from there? Or?
Yeah, a little bit. We've done collabs with Fujitsu locally. Hardywood, we actually did a collab with the governor of Virginia when we first came on.
Nice.
We did a couple beers with him. A couple of weird ones. We did like a blackberry IPA with locally grown berries. But we do even on our pilot systems, we'll do stuff with some of the locals there too. We do that at all of our breweries. And everywhere we have a pilot system.
So you brought some beers in, which I greatly appreciate because Stone makes quality. And it's funny because we hadn't even talked about what you were bringing in. You said, is this going to be a surprise? And I told you that my favorite Stone, besides Ruination, was the Buenaveza, which I had over the summer a lot. Cool. And but it's super refreshing. It's super crushable. Like there was nothing better like being out on the lake on the boat and banging down some of these. And you brought these in the bottle, which I think is way cool. The cans are cool, but the bottle is super cool. So why don't you tell me a little bit about the Buenaveza beer while I drink this? Yeah,
so literally, our translation, Buena, good, Vesa from cerveza, so good beer. We're a stone's throw from Mexico, so it's that real.
No pun intended.
It's that real, no pun intended. It's that real Baja style,
right.
SoCal Mexican lager. It has a little bit of salt and fresh lime in there. We don't use extracts, purees, nothing artificial. So it's real lime in there. Not overpowering on either. I don't think it's not noticeably salty or citrusy. Just a good 4.7% crusher. And then 12-pack bottles are a new packaging for us. So that beer is now, it was originally just a pilot series. We did a test run for 4 months. And it did so well that now it is part of our year-round schedule. So
is this going to be a year-round rotation with this beer?
Oh, yes. Year-round. You'll see it all the time now in stores and all through 2021. But especially in Connecticut, the 12-pack bottles just hit the market, and we're line pricing it with Corona.
That's big for you guys.
Yeah.
Because listen, if you told me I could have the Buenaveza or a Corona, I will drink this 10 out of 10 times.
Yeah, and there was some real sort of science behind as to why we did it for, dedicated Stone buyers. The number one non-Stone beer that they buy is Corona.
Really?
So we were like, we're kind of leaving some money on the table here.
Right? Yeah. Now you guys are killing. I mean, this has so much more flavor than a Corona has.
Yeah. And you don't have to squeeze the lime into it.
No,
You get just enough.
It has now for some reason, maybe it was just the batch I had.
Yep.
In the summer when I was drinking them, I could taste the salt. I got the salt. But this one, I get a lot more of the lime.
Yeah. I mean, our brewers are, constantly kind of tweaking,
absolutely.
tweaking stuff too. It's like, you take Stone IPA. I mean, like about 2, maybe 3 years ago, like we changed it.
Yeah.
We took Centennial hops out of it. So people are like, oh, what did that do? And I go, the best way to describe it is we got rid of the, that real dry, old school way. So it just made it a little.
Anybody who is an IPA drinker knows exactly.
Yeah, it's the best way to describe it. And so they're always looking at our beers, and they're always making them better. I guess it's one of the benefits of working for a big brewery like that is we do have a huge quality control, not only a laboratory, but we have a quality control team, and they do daily tasting panels to make sure everything's tasting good.
I need to have that job, by the way.
It's always
quality
brewers
control.
And then random sort of people that work on our floor. They bring in and they taste beers, 30, 60, 90, 120 days, bottled today, canned today. They taste the freshest possible beer and the longest possible code where they think it tastes okay.
Okay. And sometimes because people put beers in their fridge.
Yeah.
Like my dad will put beer, like he gave me a beer last time I was down there in Jersey with my mom and dad. He gave me a beer that was like, I don't know, it might even have been I think it was the Arrogant Bastard.
Yeah.
That he might have even given it to me almost like a year old.
Yeah. And if it were up to us, our beer would be cold, all the time. I mean, we store it at the brewery cold, we ship it cold.
Yeah.
We have our wholesalers store it cold, send on their trucks cold. Once it gets to the store, you own it now. The store owns it now. So ideally, hey, we'd love to have it in a cooler, but everyone's fighting for that space. So, that beer has been cold for as long as we can. And if you see it in the cold box in the store, like that beer,
it's been cold.
Has never gotten warm.
Right, and I know that a lot of people will say, "Oh, you should never let a beer get warm and then cold." And I mean, does it really affect the flavor that much, especially if it's in a can?
I think it's got to be drastic.
Yeah.
To do it,
like superheat, right?
Yeah, I mean the big enemy of beer is light.
Right. That's why cans are so much.
Yeah, but if you take a really good full hoppy IPA and you let that can get like crazy hot in your car,
right?
Yeah, that thing's gonna taste like garbage, or at least maybe have some solids.
Get skunky,
like yeah. But the gradual, cold, warm, or whatever, I've never had huge problems with that.
Yeah.
I've had plenty of stuff that I've, had in a cooler and I've let it get to room temperature. But yeah, if you go drastic, maybe.
Like I put good beers, like I've had Treehouse and some Trilliums that I left in my Yeti like a week or two in my garage and I forgot about after, going to a party or a picnic or whatever. And then I was like, oh my God, I have some really good beers in there, and I put them back in the fridge, and then I waited like a week and had them, and they were fine.
Yeah, I mean, when in doubt with, other than stuff that is supposed to be aged or can't be aged, put it in the fridge.
Yeah.
Like don't, even me, I have a second fridge just for my samples and stuff that I take to accounts because I want my IPAs you want to slow down that aging process.
Right.
I even we don't make a ton, but I even put a lot of sours in my fridge just because sometimes that secondary fermentation, you basically end up with a grenade.
I've talked about that on the show before, and I know it's happened to some of my friends.
Yeah.
Where they've opened. Are you familiar with 450 North Brewing?
Yeah.
Okay, so their sours, their slushies,
yeah.
They tend to they cram so much fruit into those things.
They're bombs, yeah.
And they tend to like this, especially the ones that are like super fruited.
Yeah.
If they get warm, like when they get shipped, people ship them to us. When they get warm, they tend to expand. and you may not even know, but you open it, it just goes everywhere.
We did a Berliner Weiss called, well, we was out this year, it's been out the last 2 years, called Notorious POG.
Yeah, it's awesome, by the way.
Fruit Orange
Yep,
Guava.
it's great.
Well, I sat on a 6-pack in my fridge for about a year, and I think we did a 120-day coke length on that.
Yeah.
And just that beer, I took one of the old cans out, and it was like a brick. Like I could feel like the can had some extra pressure, and then when I poured it, it tasted fine, but it was
just
like,
open it super slow.
Yeah, it was dangerous. I felt if I threw one of them down my driveway, it was gonna blow up, but I didn't. I drank them. But yeah, so I'm careful with aging certain sours.
Now you mentioned the Notorious POG. Is there any plans to bring that back? Maybe.
Not currently on the calendar for next year, but with Stone, things always change.
Yeah.
We do have. I mean, we were talking before the show. You're kind of a classic beer drinker.
Yeah, I mean that's what I would say I grew up on. Like beer drinking wise, I grew up drinking the Ruination and Drink Bys. You know, those are the ones I kind of like turned me on to. Even some Dogfish. My dad turned me on to the Dogfish, like the 120s, which is like, drinking the 120 is just like raping your taste buds. It's
well, you might see some old school favorites kind of pop their head out next year's our 25th anniversary.
Nice.
So the first one, I don't think it's really a secret. But in January, we're going to, in a limited capacity, re-release Sublimely Self-Righteous, which was our black IPA.
Yeah.
Which I think is the best black IPA I've ever had. And not because I'm biased. I wasn't even working for Stone when that beer got discontinued. So it predates me. So I'm excited about that. That'll be, I think that's second week of January. That'll hit Connecticut.
Yeah. Excellent. Yeah, those are good ones coming back.
And we have they land this week in Connecticut, so you'll probably see them next week. We're doing a special holiday 12-pack called 12 Days of IPAs. And it's
Are they having that?
It's 12 totally different IPAs, and your Ruination is in there.
Well, that's good news.
Rebrewing it for that.
Well, we're going to take a quick break. We'll come back in a couple minutes. We'll talk about some Stone Brewing and the history of Stone Brewing.
Great.
So stay tuned. We'll be right back with Stone Brewing, Just a Guy with a Beer.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
It's pretty easy.
I took them off because I couldn't hear you through it.
Yeah, it's weird. I'm only wearing them now so I can hear the commercials when it goes on and off.
Cool.
When I can see time, I have the time down there.
And if you want me to open something else that we can talk about, let me know. And just we keep this as our palate cleanser. I'm happy to. Have you had Fear Movie Lines?
Which one is it?
It's the new double.
No.
That kind of replaced Urination. It's our unfiltered. A couple bottles of that.
Yeah, I'm drinking that. I'll drink that.
Whatever you want to do. I mean, I'd love to open one up and have something a little different to talk about.
Yeah.
In Buena.
Yeah, totally.
Or an IPA brew.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I brought,
That's why you brought them, right?
Well, I'll tell you. So I brought Wizards and Gargoyles, which is collab with Modern Times, hazy coffee.
Oh, okay.
Xocoveza.
Oh, I love that.
I have not had Wizards and Gargoyles yet.
I have not had that one
Cosmic
either.
Runestone, which is a limited in the next 12. And then I figured maybe we could share a little of this. And I got
absolutely.
All right, cool. Pour a little.
Now, it's Charest, right?
That's totally fine.
You told me before we came on there,
like what you sit in.
Charest. Got it.
Tell me when we're down the wire.
Excellent.
So this is normally in bottles because it's out of mixed bag.
Hey, we're back. We are back on Just a Guy with a Beer. I'm here with Stone Brewing New England rep and New York, Chris Charest. And we are sharing right now, we're drinking Stone Buenaveza. It's a excellent summer beer, but the good news is we will able to drink this all year round. So when we're having the January blues, wishing we were on the lake, diving in the water, and we're looking outside at a foot of snow, I'll be killing some Buenavezas and pretending.
If it's like last winter, maybe not.
So we're going to talk a little bit about a new one that you cracked during the commercial break.
Yeah, well, this one's been out for a couple years, but this is our year-round double IPA. So you're talking, Ruination used to be our old school West Coast double. Well, tastes change and evolve, and the unfiltered, hazy, juicy sort of became the thing. So this is Fear Movie Lions, or as we call it, FML. It's an 8.5%.
It smells amazing.
So it's it packs a punch. It's 2 hops, Laurel and Mosaic. So Laurel, lemon, floral, and Mosaic in there. You get it's juicy, but it's a West Coast, so it's got a little bitter on the finish. That's what makes it different than a lot of your.
So I was just going to ask. So there might be some people that haven't tuned in or missed the episode where we talked about it. But just quick before we drink this, could you tell us what the difference between an East and a West Coast?
Yeah, I mean, the thing now, the East Coast or the New England, whatever you want to call it, is definitely that, what they used to call back in the day, sort of unfinished, but it's that really, it's that really hazy appearance to it. It's really juicy, a lot of citrus flavor, a lot of, orange juicy type things. And then West Coast, words that you hear for West Coast are, dank, piney, bitter.
I call beers. We call a lot of these, especially the cloudy beers, the hazier beers. We like to say the word dank all the time.
Yeah.
The guys that I drink with, we used to say everything's dank. But I get what you're saying.
Yeah, West Coast is certainly dank and certainly piney, and West Coast is, that's kind of the old school. But things are evolving. But Fear Movie Lions is sort of our take on it. It's kind of paying respect to this, the hot style right now in IPAs, and we're an IPA brewery. But it's also kind of remembering our roots. It's that, but it's truly a West Coast version of that.
And I'm getting the aroma off it right now, and I'm standing 2 feet away from it, and it smells amazing. Yeah. And actually, now that you said the Fear Movie Lions, I did see that in my local packy the other day.
Yep.
I did see that it was in cans.
Yeah, so it's not normally we're doing some bottles tonight, but this came out of our mixed 12-pack. But this is in a 16-ounce 6-pack can. Yeah. It's usually about $13, which is a really good.
That's a good deal, yeah.
Yeah.
So you said it's 8%, 8%?
8.5.
8.5. So that's good for an 8.5.
Yeah, it's I'm noticing, especially a lot of the guys that are really into the the hazy stuff, that are kind of the collectors that like the the rare Treehouse and things like that. Right. For them, this is a lot of the guys that I talk to. This is a really good. It's a good refrigerator beer for it. Right. You're maybe spending $17, $18 on a 4-pack of a really maybe rare limited IPA that you want to share with your boys. But sometimes you want to get home and have that hazy. Well,
exactly.
A $13 6-pack and a 16 ounce is a really good deal.
But you're not really giving anything up on the flavor.
Yeah, and it's just it's a solid everyday drinker. That's really just kind of true to the style. Well, it's something a little different.
Right.
It's certainly our take on it. It's not a copycat beer. It's a Stone beer.
That's one of the other things that I like about Stone is. We have, and I'm sure that we call beer, some beers we call shelties, right? That are bigger than your local brewery. Yep. But Stone is like one of my shelties. I love it's one of my fallback shelties because everything you guys do is good. I never had a Stone beer where I'm just like, because they're you can enjoy them. They're not overpriced. Because sometimes we'll go buy a beer. Like I'm always hesitant to buy to commit to a 4-pack if it's like $20, right? Because what if I hate it?
Right.
Like we've done that. We sometimes we'll split it with the guys, but you go and you buy these beers are expensive. I bought some Skygazer the other day. Okay. I know you're from 12%. Yeah. And I bought one of the watercolors. Okay. I think it was called Affinity. It was $23 a 4-pack. I only bought one because I've had all of them I've had so far have been great. But I have a hard time committing to $23 for a 4-pack. I don't know if I hate it.
The other thing about this too is, with us, it's like it's gonna taste the same. Like you're not gonna, sometimes you might hear with certain breweries, oh, the last batch was better. This beer, buy this beer now, you buy this beer, you get a 6-pack in a month. Like it's gonna taste like the beer. Right.
So if you're just joining us, you didn't hear what we're doing. We're drinking Fear Movie Lions from Stone or FML. It's an unfiltered double IPA. So like I said, it smells amazing.
And there's a story behind the name too.
We can tell. Tell us the story about that.
So it's actually the GPS coordinates of our Richmond brewery.
Okay.
This group of, let's call them dorks, a bunch of math geeks, came up with this. It's an app. You can get it on your iPhone. It's called What Three Words. And they divided the entire globe into 3 meter by 3 meter squares.
Oh, wow.
They're randomly assigned.
Sounds like people had too much time on their hands.
And they're randomly assigned 3 words. Oh, and remember, Nick at Two Brothers, his was really funny. It'll come to me later. But anyway, Fear Movie Lions is right in our brew house. So if you go into Stone Brewing Richmond and you go on the tour, there's a big 3 meter by 3 meter square down there.
Fear Movie Lions. That's pretty cool. Yeah, that's a good. Yeah. That's actually a really good story.
It's crazy accurate too. Some of my distributor up in Vermont. Obviously, the guys are, some of them avid snowboarders and skiers, and instead of saying, "Oh, I'm at the third pine tree," they were testing it out, going, "I'm at pizza," or whatever. And they're like, "It's scary accurate.
Wow.
You can put a pin and go to it." So it's kind of for like mapping the unmappable. From what I've heard, reading up on it, I think maybe some of like the Scandinavian countries, like ski patrols using it.
Right.
Or if you're stuck out at sea or in the middle of a desert.
Well, actually, that would come in handy, right?
Yeah.
If you're stuck somewhere and they can map out where you are, its coordinates in 3 meter by 3 meters.
And it's translatable into like 20-something different languages.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, people way smarter than I came up with this, but it's pretty cool.
That's pretty awesome.
So we had a lot of, obviously, 3-word combos to choose from in Richmond, and that's the one that they thought.
Fear Movie Lions. So I'm ready to dive into this. So
right,
cheers.
Yeah. Cheers, my friend.
That's solid. Yeah.
So juicy up front, but you get that.
You get the bitterness at the end.
Quick, but quick. Nothing
bad. Yeah.
Not old West Coast that sticks around. It goes away pretty quick, and you get right back to that kind of orange.
You do. You get the orange, I wouldn't say orange peel, but you get like orange zest from it. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
that's really good.
It's a good beer. It does not drink like 8.5%.
I will say, my dad would like this one. I don't know if he's had it yet, so I know they usually watch. So if you had this, Dad, tell me. He's
well, I brought an extra.
Well, hopefully I get to see him soon. I haven't seen my parents since December, so hopefully I get to see him soon. Yeah, we'll mail him. Okay. I said we'll send him down. I'll mail him a bunch, but I said he's a Stone guy. He was the first person I told after you agreed to come on. The first person I told was my dad.
It's happy to be here. Man.
Yeah, it's awesome. So this is excellent. This is actually really good. Another one, like you said, you don't want to crack open that 16-ounce Treehouse and get that flavor. It's drinkable. I guess that's a good way to say it. The drinkability is really good.
It's misleadingly strong at 8.5. I mean, we were talking when we were talking before. You're saying you've been drinking Stone for a while, and your dad has too. One thing about us is we hide the alcohol content very well. Unless it's like our barley wine or something like that. None of our beers are boozy.
See, that would probably be the only one of your beers that I wouldn't drink because I am not a barley wine guy. I even somebody made a barley wine. I can't remember who it was, and I tried it, and it's one of the places that it might have been a Trillium or a Treehouse. It was one of those type of along those lines, and I tried it, and just because it was from somebody else and. So maybe the one I had was just not good.
We haven't made Old Guardian in, I think, 4 years, 3 or 4 years. So any bottle that you would see out there is probably okay. It loses that edge after it gets a little more. I always find it gets a little more like plummy kind of fruit flavor as it gets older. And I can't drink any young barley wine.
Maybe that was the reason. Because I drank the first time I ever had barley wine. I think it was a Sierra Nevada.
Yeah,
and I really didn't like it.
It's a different breed of cat. A different breed of cat is in the barley.
Right. Oh, it was. I'll tell you, it was Fox Farm.
Okay.
Fox Farm made a barley wine, and it was a bottle. It came in a bomber. But it wasn't terrible.
Yeah.
But it still wasn't something that I want to drink all the time.
My old friends used to work for him. Black Hog out in Oxford. They made a barley wine. It was nice. It's really kind of biscuity.
Okay.
I enjoyed that one.
I'm hoping to have them on here soon too. So yeah, great. I mean, I know I have the guys. I don't remember what his name was. Actually Becca from these guys sent me his contact information. So
their barley wine's excellent. And I apologize Tyler, who's the brewer there, that I forget the name of it. I was the first guy to sell it, but it was excellent. It was certainly one of the best ones that I've had in Connecticut, and I think it's pretty up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, just different take.
Right.
Not, didn't knock you out.
Yeah, this one is like, now you have to respect this because I could sit here and probably drink 5 more of those easily.
Yeah, it's dangerous.
But then,
It's dangerous.
and my mom actually popped in. She said they're looking it up right now, so
Cool.
they're gonna go have to hook it up because he would definitely like that one.
Years ago, I was out, former career, I was out at happy hour, and I see, dogfish. So they got dogfish on tap, and they had the handle that's, dogfish 6-minute handle. And I was on my third one, and all of a sudden I was like, hey, I'm going to get going. I'm not feeling so good. I think I'm coming down with something. And then I looked at their beer list, and it was actually Dogfish 90, and I was like, oh, no, I'm not coming down with something. I'm
have another one. Give me another one.
I'm drunk.
I'll take another one. I'll take another one. That's awesome. Cool. All right, so we're getting ready to head to another break. I'm going to have more of this if you don't mind.
Yeah,
this is Fear Movie Lions from Stone. We're going to come back here in a couple minutes, and I know you have another one in there that
I got a couple more, so it's
something I'm looking forward to. Yes. So we're going to come back in a couple minutes. We're going to talk more about Stone Brewing. We have Chris here. He's the Northeast, really New England and New York marketing guy. You're the rep.
The marketing manager.
Marketing manager. Yes.
Whatever you want to call me.
Yeah. So cool job. It's awesome. So well, stay tuned. Just a guy with a beer. We'll be right back with Stone Brewing. This is really good.
Yeah, it's dope, isn't it? Yeah, and that's one of the big things about those is that price.
Yeah.
$13 for 6. You're getting 2 more beers than that.
This is fragrant as shit. This is so good.
Yeah. It's that hop. One of our brewers is in love with it, Laurel. And we were one of the first breweries to jump on it, and he just makes a ton of beers with it.
This is good. I'm a fan. In fact, I'm going to go get some of this.
Cool. Thank you. Appreciate that.
I really like this. Thank you for bringing this. This is good.
So I've got the Choco.
Hang on. Hey, Jill, do me a favor. You go rinse these in the sink for me.
Where's the sink?
It's in the back by Mike's office. When you go to the by the bathroom, just rinse it out in the bathroom, please, or in the kitchen sink. Thank you.
Kitchen in here too?
Which one is this? Withers and Garlic. I haven't had that one yet.
Hazy. I've never had that either. And then this is Cosmic Moonstone. That's a limited. So I'll let you pick.
Yes. Oh,
These are all limited beers, and they're all pretty.
I want this one.
Okay. I brought 2 of those.
Excellent.
You'll have another one. New packages here too.
Oh, I love that. I bought the bomber.
Okay.
I had the bigger, but I think I still have the bottle too.
Yeah, this is year 5 or something.
Yeah.
Like that. That'll be back next year too.
Huh.
I love this hat.
The old school. I put a couple of those in there this year.
They used to call my dad used to drink that.
Yeah.
They used to call their case the Weekender.
They still have it. The place I go to in Groton still has it on tap.
Managed by the ponies.
There's no paper towels, so we drive off the best spot.
Which one? I got a 2-pack. Thank you.
All All right, welcome back to Just a Guy with a Beer. This is episode number 20. I'm here with Chris from Stone Brewing, and we drank Buenaveza so far. We drank Fear Movie Lions, a double, and both of them have been awesome. So we're going to drink another one now. And thank you to my lovely assistant Dylan for washing our glasses for us during the break. So, Chris, you brought a few in from your collection here. So, what have you brought? Just tell us what we brought so far, and I'm going to pick one more.
All depending on your palate. So I brought Xocoveza. You and I were talking about that before. So it's our Mexican hot chocolate stout. So it's coffee, chocolate, cinnamon, vanilla, nutmeg, and a little bit of hot pasilla pepper. Comes out every fall into winter. We do one big hit of it, so it's out right now. The next one is a collaboration we did with Modern Times. Out of San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
They're actually right near one of our tap rooms.
I've had beers from them before.
They also roast their own coffee.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, their coffee's excellent. So this is called Wizards and Gargoyles, and it is a hazy coffee IPA. And then this last one is a Cosmic Runestone IPA. You can only get it right now in our mixed 12 packs.
Okay.
And it's using like this really classic Nordic style yeast, which is very like farmhousey. So it's almost like a farmhousey type IPA. So I've never had Wizards and Gargoyles, and I've never had Cosmic Runestone. So it'll be my first time.
So I was going to pick the Xocoveza because I love that beer. It's one of my favorite Stone beer. We talked about that when you came in earlier. But that Wizards and Gargoyles really has me curious.
I would love. I'm dying.
I know that you said you've never had it, and I've never had it, obviously. So that's what we're going to drink next.
I went beer hunting this weekend. We have on stonebrewing.com. We have a beer finder, so you can put in your zip code and a specific beer, and it'll tell you where to find it. So I had to look to see who still had Wizards and Gargoyles and where the new mixed 12 with Cosmic Runestone. So I went hunting for these beers so we could try them. So let me get you some Wizards.
So I'm very excited about.
So this is a mix of kind of some new and old school hops. You got Citra, Cashmere, but then you got Centennial in here and Osaka. So you're definitely going to get some citrus in here. I would imagine from what I've heard, they used a relatively lighter roast coffee because lighter roast coffee tends to be a little more fruitier.
Right.
As you get darker, it kind of blows that out. So I'm guessing, and we'll try in a second, you're going to get some orange tropical notes. Definitely kind of a nutty, creamy sort of.
I already got that coffee. I got the coffee.
That's a lot of coffee on the nose.
So I will say that when you were pouring it, I was not expecting that when you poured it. I was expecting, when you said it's a hazy coffee IPA, I was expecting it to be way darker.
Well, that beer's crazy. We only brought like 20 or 30 cases of this in the whole state.
Right.
There's not much left out there. It's been out for a couple of months. I know that I'll give a shout out Worldwide Wine and Spirits in Southington. They had a couple of 4-packs. I bought one of them. So if you're looking for it, I know it's there. But like I said, our beer finder's pretty awesome. It just puts little pins on a map. You put in your zip and how many miles you're willing to travel, and it tells you who's ordered.
Who's got it?
Yeah.
Who's got what?
Based on our sales reports, who's ordered it in the last number. And that's for all of our beers. You know, you can anything you want if you're looking for Xocoveza or FML.
So
they'll tell you.
Now it's funny you say that. So my mom just piped in, but she said they found the Fear Movie Lions 3.8 miles from the house.
They went on Beer Finder.
So
cool.
Go on Beer Finder, Mom. Mom said coffee IPA, snag me one. So go on the Beer Finder, find this. It's called
Wizards and Gargoyles.
Wizards and Gargoyles.
Yeah.
So now, while I'm drinking this one, because I can't wait to dive in this one. What's the background of the Gargoyle for Stone IPA? Do you know what the background on that is?
Yeah, I mean, the name Stone is kind of funny. Greg and Steve are two owners. They were, like name after name after name. They were trying, and 25 years ago, and Stone was the one they kind of settled on for no reason other than they thought it sounded awesome.
It does. That is a cool. Yeah. The name was catchy. Yeah.
And then, once the name, they were kind of, brainstorming on what would work as a logo or a mascot or whatever. And I'm not sure which one of them came up with it. Then they came up with the idea of the gargoyle. And basically, so back when we first started brewing, pasteurizing beer was the norm and all that. And we wanted no pasteurization, no preservatives, no artificial ingredients. So gargoyles traditionally ward off evil spirits, and our gargoyle wards off all the awful things about beer, which are preservatives. And so
Yes.
basically, it protects you from bad beer.
Yes. So
Yeah.
you say preservatives. I can't help but think about my time in the service. I was in the Navy, and my first time in Europe, the first port I ever went to was Israel when I was in the Navy in the 80s. I'm old, and I was that guy full of piss and vinegar. I'm 18 years old. I'm getting off the submarine, and I want to go. I used to drink the local beer. Like, nope, I'm a red-blooded American. I'm drinking Budweiser. And I learned that day one, my first time ever on land in Europe, that you never drink American beer while you're in Europe, because they put preservative, but they use formaldehyde.
Oh, okay.
They use formaldehyde, and it is the absolute worst thing. You will never have a worse hangover. Like I would literally have chosen death the next day instead of having the hangover. But preservatives ruins beer. I mean, listen, it tasted good when I was drinking it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, preservatives in beer. Because listen, I like my beer to last a long time. But now that I'm older and I've learned more about beer, I've learned how to make it last longer. But like when I was younger, I never really.
Yeah, and we sort of led the charge with, we have very aggressive code lengths on our beers. A lot of bigger craft breweries, you might see 6 months and beyond. We average about 120 days. For years, we were 90 days, but then we started canning, and cans, no light, no air. That's the best package for beer. And we improved our bottle as technology got better. When you bottle beer, a little bit of oxygen gets in, so we blow more oxygen out of it, and better caps and things like that. So we do 120 days for most of our beers. Buenaveza a little bit longer because it's not a hoppy beer.
Right.
And then there's Xocoveza, which is 37 days. So we sort of led the charge on the younger the beer, the better the beer.
And it makes sense now. I mean,
it's a blessing and a curse. We
yes.
created a monster, but you can thank or blame us for that. But that's really one of the concessions we made for not pasteurizing or putting preservatives in.
Right.
Our beer will not last as long.
Right.
That's fine.
But I will say that this Wizards and Gargoyles is fantastic.
And this
that is.
And this is on the tail end.
That's
of
good.
Shelf life. This is probably about a month left of what we.
That fresh is probably off the chart. That's ridiculous. That's good. I mean, I put that up against a lot of other beers and have it beat it because it's very unique. Like you get the coffee, but then you get the IPA. Like
the coffee's really on the nose, though.
It is, but you get a little like on the back end of it, you get the coffee, and then you get like the IPA, and you get the citrus a little bit, and then you get the coffee. You get the coffee again.
Yeah.
But I just can't like smelling it. Like it doesn't. It 1000% does not taste like it looks. Like it doesn't taste like it smells.
No.
Like I was expecting that to pour darker.
And it's I mean, it's a real straw blonde color too.
Yeah.
So
it's a little bit hazy, but it's not. You know what I mean? It's nothing crazy.
You would really mess somebody up if you just kind of handed it to someone and they didn't get a whiff of it. They would really throw
smash it. Yeah.
We made a blonde stout years ago called Master of Disguise. Now a lot of people, I think Stony Creek, Stony Joe, they did one that was that kind of style. But we were the first or whatever. We early on we did it, and that beer will mess with people's heads. That's also a double too, so it'll knock you on your keister.
Yes,
I still have 2 bottles of that left from Master. I think Master is 6 or 7 years old. But that was another one that would mess. We had a whole line of weird beers like that.
But I like those, like those unique type beers, those ones that they only come out every once in a while. But that's a winner. That's excellent.
And this one's in 4-packs. Like I said, I know that Worldwide and Southington definitely has.
I have to look it up later on because that's amazing.
CT Beverage Mart in Newington had a couple.
Newington's a little far, but I would drive. I might.
I live in that area, so I just happened to be beer hunting because I wanted to bring you some Xocoveza today. So
Yes.
I went.
And it's funny because you didn't know until you came here tonight that Xocoveza is one of my favorite
Yeah.
beers.
And Xocoveza is pretty tough to find. It's been out for about a month, and it's sold through for whatever reason. It sold through really fast this year.
Yeah, it's because it's good.
Yeah, and more people are drinking at home. So I think.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, breweries out there, you're not getting the people coming in because, like some of my sponsors, these guys, because you know Becca and Ray,
Yep.
their food there is amazing,
Awesome.
but their beer is very good there, and I feel for them because they're more than just a tasting room. They're more than just a tap room.
Yeah.
They have the whole restaurant business as well. So I feel for them. I can't wait for them to start canning.
Yeah.
So that's good for them because I'll go there and Becca will fill my growler for me.
And we were chatting about that before. Like these guys and our buddy Nick down at Two Brothers, and
Yep.
who's probably got. I would say I'd put his bar restaurant in terms of craft beer and just how you feel when you walk into those places. I put them up against any bar in the state.
Absolutely.
It's just the fact that even in the warm months they don't have that outdoor seating. So,
Right.
I feel bad for places like that didn't have that. Say like my friends up in Eli Cannons in Middletown, they've got this massive patio, so they're kind of able to crank through.
Yeah, because Nick does it. Well, these guys does have like an outdoor seating area, but now you're getting to the cold weather.
Yeah.
So it makes it a little tougher. I'm afraid what's going to happen if we have to shut everything down again to a lot of our friends who don't have the option to have those outdoor
Yeah,
seating areas.
I mean it's one of those you don't want to get political over, but I don't. I think our politicians I think they're in a no-win situation.
They are.
I don't think there's a right answer.
There's not.
It's you shut it down and you're killing people's livelihood, and if you don't shut down, something bad happens. What's the smart call? Who knows? Yeah.
We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. Just a guy with a beer. Now, I don't know why, but my commercials aren't playing over the air. Like, we can hear them? What's that? Still? Yeah, the mics are still on. Like, I just shut our mic off. So, I don't know. Yeah, I know. Something's not right.
Well, I won't swear just to be safe.
Yeah.
I won't work blue tonight. Normally I do a lot. You like this one though?
That's awesome.
It's crazy, huh?
I really like
I
it.
was pleasantly surprised by that. I had heard really good things about it, and I was pretty excited to try it. And I got 3 more at home.
Well, we are not. My commercials for some reason are not going out, so I don't know why. So we're just going to keep going.
Even though we can hear more.
Yeah, that's not going out over the air, so we're just going to keep going. All right, so for some reason my commercials are not going out over the air, so I apologize to my sponsors, G&S Automotive or G&S Auto Sales, These Guys Brewing, Epicure Brewing, Mr. Beardo Beard Oil and Tattoo Juice, and Unify. I apologize. My commercials are not playing tonight.
Beard oil place, do they make mustache stuff?
No, but you can use the beard oil.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
don't know where my beautiful assistant Dylan.
Help a brother out. I would love some mustache stuff.
My beautiful assistant
I'm
Dylan.
starting to get some curl on this.
Yes, it looks good. I like the lipstick. So again, if you didn't hear what I just said, we're experiencing some. It's been an all-day thing today, so we're going to figure this out. But my commercials aren't playing, so again, I apologize to all my sponsors. I will fix it by next week. But Mr. Beard Oil, still, could you grab that for me?
Where are they
The
out
beard oil. He's on out of Gloucester, Mass.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got a website. If you go to MrBeardo.com, he does tattoo juice. I don't know if you've got any ink.
Got a whole.
Yeah, so the beard oil is good. It'll help your mustache. It smells great. I have the unicorn. It's actually great.
Okay.
And then the tattoo juice is just, it helps condition your skin. It smells great, but it makes the color of your tattoos pop.
Text me the info.
Yeah.
After we finish, and they made a sale, so I'll buy them.
There you go.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, there you go, right here. So this is Mr. Beardo's unicorn beard oil.
Okay.
Check that out. And then here's Mr. Beardo's tattoo juice. They smell kind of the same, but he does it all out of his. I think he does it all out of his house.
Cool.
And you just go on his website and you can order whatever you want.
tattoo juice like during like the healing process, that sort of stuff?
No, it's for
Just
after.
A revitalizer?
It's great. It smells good, and it makes the color of your tattoo just absolutely pop.
Cool.
So I'm here with Chris from Stone Brewing. He's the New England marketing rep, and he's brought some great beers. We've drank Buenaveza. We've drank Fear Movie Lions. We just drank Wizards and Gargoyles, which that is I'm actually sad because of course I like something now, and I'm not going to be able to get it again. So yeah, it is what it is.
It's out there.
I'm going to find it. I'm going to make it. I'm going to go on a mission. I'm going to have to look at Rhode Island because I have to go to Rhode Island and look at some of the more little obscure khakis.
I cover Rhode Island too. I'll let you know who got some.
Yeah, just shoot me a text and let me know because I'll go buy a couple of fours. Now I need to share that with my buddies. So now we're going to drink another one. I've been looking forward to this part. This is our last segment. Oh, excuse me. Oof. This is our last segment. So I wanted to drink that Xocoveza. I know we have another one. We can drink that after. But the Xocoveza is, if you haven't had this, this is a hot chocolate, right?
It's a Mexican hot chocolate.
Mexican hot chocolate stout. It is amazing. I know there's a couple people that have been on the feed so far, and they said, oh, they wanted to try. That sounded really good. But I will tell you right now, not only does it sound really good, it is amazing. Like I bought it on a whim because I thought the bottle was cool, the bottle art was cool, the name was cool.
We changed it up a little bit this year. We went a little more the actual Mexican motif. We have a little more of a holiday turquoise.
I just thought the bottle when I bought it a couple years ago, the turquoise on the black bottle, it just popped. So I said, and listen, you're a marketing guy, so like this, the Sugar Skull.
Yep.
Cooked. I'm a Sugar Skull guy.
Okay.
I was buying. I bought it.
Gargoyle. It's a gargoyle Sugar Skull.
And I love it. And I thought it was great because I am that guy. Like I will totally judge a book by its cover. Now I know what good beer is. I know who makes good beer. I will take chances, but I like if there's something I want something different, I will 100% take a cool looking can. The can art is a huge thing for me. A name, a brewery name, a beer name, cool can art. It's a total hook for me. And I'm like a marketer's dream because I'm that guy who will buy into that because it has a cool name.
You're going to see some cool rebranding on some of our beers next year. I just actually, so the first Enjoy By coming out next year is going to be because we do major holidays, so of course we do one for 420. I won't tell you what, we're actually changing up the Enjoy Bys a little bit next year. We're going to do kind of variants on them.
Right.
Just to freshen the series up. But the 420 has this total like crazy psychedelic packaging. It looks so cool,
nice.
And it is such a change from how it used to look. It's still clearly a Stone beer. It's got the gargoyle head on it, but it just, this is going to pop off the shelf. It's like, it's really cool looking. I just saw it this morning. So you'll see some kind of fun stuff like that, kind of freshening and brightening up the package a little bit next year.
That's one of the cool things about like being a craft beer guy. Like I have a spot that I go to down the road here, the Pit Stop, and it's a really small place, but they have a great, like I can always go get any kind of 12% beer. I go there. Hoax is another one of my favorite beers, Connecticut beers. They do a really good job. Their sours are phenomenal. I don't know if you had a chance to have any of their sours yet.
No.
Yeah, you should definitely, if you can get your hands on some of the Hoax sours, definitely do that. They're good, but they might even have the Wizards and Gargoyles. So, and if I ask nicely, they might even be able to get their hands on it.
Beer finder at Stone Brewing.
I want to go. Yeah. So if you go to Stone Brew, right?
Stone Brewing.
Stonebrewing.com.
And we have a beer finder.
They have a beer finder. So if you're looking for any of these beers, if you're looking for the Buenaveza, which is available almost pretty much anywhere you get, any good package store will have.
12 packs are, like I said, are really starting to hit the market now. They landed in Connecticut maybe about 3 weeks ago, so it really started to kind of hit it hard right at the end of October. So
you could get the 12-ounce cans in a 6-pack too, still, right?
Yep.
Okay, because I knew I did see them the other day.
There's some 12-ounce cans. The 12-pack bottles are a better deal.
Yeah. 12-pack bottles are a better deal. You heard Chris say it. So.
Aggressively priced to be comparable price to your Corona, your Modelo.
Right.
Yeah, that's what
and
we're going after.
Just my opinion. I mean, people like what they like. My wife is a Corona drinker, and I try not to beer shame her too much.
You go on Rate Beer, Beer Advocate, whatever beer rating site you want to,
right?
And Buenaveza is ranked a good 20, 30 points above any Mexican lager.
Yeah, I listen. If I had the choice between any, I don't like Corona anyway. I think it's kind of watered down. I would drink Modelo's or Pacifico before I drank the Corona. But the Buenaveza, that's where it's at because having that this year changed my whole outlook on the Mexican type beer. So
I'm glad. See that you're the drinker we're going after.
yeah, that's why I like those. Again, that's when I look. That's a summer beer. If I want to look for a summer beer when I'm out on the boat with my friends on the lake, we drinking a lot of the like the Twisted Teas and the Arnold Palmers.
Yeah.
Those are crushable boat drinks. You can feel like you can drink a few of those and not feel bloated, and you know what I mean. Like if you drink a couple of those weirs and gargoyles out in the lake.
Yeah.
You're gonna have a rough afternoon.
Buenaveza makes really good micheladas.
Yeah.
It's basically like the spicy tomato juice. It's not quite Bloody Mary mix. You don't want the horseradish in it. But and then if you want to go, you do about 8 ounces of the beer and about 4 ounces of your michelada mix. If you want to go crazy, you drop a shot of tequila in there too. But I was drinking those in the summer instead of a Bloody Mary on Sunday. I was doing Buenaveza micheladas.
So I probably should admit this because, but hey, don't beer shame me, but I like the Clamato and Bud Light.
Drink what you like.
Yeah, I mean, you see, I love that you say that because I always end my show with the same words. Don't beer shame your friends.
Yeah.
People drink what they like, and I'm part of these groups on Facebook that are like beer groups, beer drinkers, Connecticut beer drinkers, whatever. And I see a lot of beer shaming going on. Like people go on there and they just bash people that like the Sky Gizzard sours. People bash people because they like Two Roads, the Too Juicy. Just drink what you like. If you like I like PBR, man. Don't.
I always say. So I was telling you before when we went on air. I worked in the concert business for many years before I did this. I worked for Jimmy Koplick, who's the big promoter in Connecticut for my whole life. And he had a really good line. Like he just kind of said, "Hey, when a show would come, he'd book a show, and maybe some people would snicker. He would always say, hey, always remember, every act we book is somebody's favorite band.
Right.
And that's how you have to sell it, and that's how you have to market it. And you kind of learn. Look, we make beers that aren't my palate, but you need to understand why it might be your favorite.
Right.
Like I get why people like that.
Right.
And you kind of sometimes you need to think that.
Right.
If I'm doing a tasting at a package store and I'm pouring IPAs and Joe Bud Light walks in.
Oh yeah, those are the guys that you always have.
I just know as soon as he comes up, he's like, "Yeah, I'll try it," and I'm just like in my head, I'm like, "This guy is not gonna like this at all."
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh my god," and I'm like, "I understand why your palate's reacting that way
because you drink Bud Light."
Stone IPA is the most bitter thing he's ever had, and it's not the bitterest beer you'll ever have.
Right, because you always get you have your stereotypical the IPA drinkers. So you see the memes on Facebook, and you see the jokes about the beard and the beanie and the hipster drinking IPAs. That's not the IPA crowd, right? That's a stereotype. Because stereotypes are generally wrong.
Yeah.
But you drink what you like, man. If you like Bud Light, go drink Bud Light, man.
Yeah.
Just don't be scared to drink with the things that you like to drink.
But if I see a dude with a 12-pack of Bud under his arm and he's coming to me for a sip,
he's not gonna like this.
This ain't gonna go well, and I know he's not putting that 12-pack down and
going back and getting your stuff.
Like, sure, you can give it a try, buddy.
Right, but listen, they got to start somewhere.
Yeah,
I was a hardcore Bud, Coors Light, and I like malt liquor. I still like malt liquor. I'll drink a Colt 45 or a Steel Reserve every once in a while still. No. I drink the bad stuff. I still Heffer's is good with the Rebus in the cap.
But in college, we used to get 64-ounce glasses.
Yeah, with the handle and little handle. Yes, totally.
Yeah.
I used to do the same thing.
We'd fire one down before we go.
And I'll still drink those, but I would much rather enjoy the flavor of something, right? Because I'm drinking that. There's a reason why I'm drinking a 64-ounce Heffer's, and it's not because I like the taste.
Well, you're getting older too. You'd rather go out. I'd rather go out, to my local joint, and I'd rather have that one or two $8, $10 beers, whereas 25 years ago or whatever, it was like, hey, who's got dollar Coors Lights tonight? And go out.
Right? Exactly. Nickel beer night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know,
This is good stuff.
affordable luxury is kind
Exactly.
of the way I look at it.
Because you're older now, you can have a, you don't have to worry about the champagne taste and beer pocketbook, right?
Yeah.
Because then you have the good beer
Drop
pocketbook.
20
Right?
bucks on 2 really nice beers.
Yeah.
Sip 'em and go home.
And enjoy it.
Be home by 9.
Exactly.
Get a good night's
Exactly.
sleep. You know?
Awesome. So this is Xocoveza. This is
Yeah.
the Mexican hot chocolate stout. It's amazing. It's one of my favorites. It's delicious. Chris, thanks for coming on, brother. I appreciate it.
Cheers. Thank you for having me.
The folks that came on tonight, I'm sorry for the technical difficulties. It's been a kind of a tough day. Today's been all about technical difficulties here at SNSN Studios. But Mike and I are going to work through it, and we'll get it fixed. And I'd like to have you come back on again, maybe in the wintertime. If the COVID doesn't keep us away, I'd like to have you come back in and talk about what you guys got coming on for the summer. So
Anytime. I always have new beers.
that's awesome. So this is Chris Charest from Stone Brewing. He's the marketing guy for New England and New York. I really appreciate you coming in and bringing all these awesome beers from Stone. I love it all. I don't know what else to say, man. You guys killed it with this. This is everything you brought here tonight has been great, man. Thank you. Thank you for
Appreciate it.
coming.
Drink more Stone.
Yeah, absolutely. Go out, get some more Stone. And I appreciate you guys watching. So tune in next week. I have Mario from Chuli's Tap House here in Griswold. He'll be in talking about the awesome food at Mario's and the great beer list he's got over there. So until next time, please stay healthy. Don't beer shame your friends. And please, social distance and wear your masks. We'll see you soon.